back to Socks and Sandals. So for the next 2 weeks, my dad and I are going to be going to every game exchange in Texas. It's our first stop. It's my local game exchange in Waxahachie. Today's Saturday, so we begin our journey. Alright, so first up we got X-Men. I guess it's from the third movie, the official game. It's the last one I needed for X-Men. And then Need for Speed Rivals. They're shutting the servers down for this in October. So I want to get all the achievements for it. So I bought another copy to boost. Alright, so first one down, Waxahachie. Alright, so here we are, Cleburne. Second game exchange of the trip. It's only taken 4 hours to get here. But again, we're just gonna go in. I'm not even gonna bother them to ask to film inside. Show you what I get when we come back. Alright, so I've never been to this game exchange, but they actually had some pretty good stuff in there, stuff I don't normally see. So we got Spyro, Dawn of the Dragon for 360, of course. Mayhem 3D for 360. And then Alien Isolation, the Nostromo edition. But yeah, so far pretty good game exchange. I ended up using my store credit for it, so on to the next one. All right, Cleburne down. 42 to go.
Well, this one. But it doesn't matter. Right. Not for the keyboard.
Alright, so here I got Jurassic Park, the game. They had it stickered at $49.99. They rang me up for $59.99, but they gave me Turbo for not really free for what I paid. I got Megamind and then Duck Dynasty 360. So not bad. Still recording? Yeah. And I got a Dukes of Hazzard season 4 through 7 and Dukes of Hazzard the first season and John Wayne with 4 disc CDs. Alright, so here we are at the Abilene location. Unfortunately, I didn't capture Dad announcing the Burleson location, but it's been about 2.5 hours. This is probably our last stop of the day, so let's head in. So not the greatest selection at this one, but I did find a game that I've been looking for forever. It's Cool Borders 1 on the PS1. And then just a game I don't see too often is 2006 FIFA World Cup. Alright, so we just finished Abilene. Now we're heading to San Angelo. First fuel up of the trip. We're heading to San Angelo. It says it will be there by 8:20. So we're going to see if we can make that one tonight, get 5 knocked out today. Alrighty.
Well, looks like we made it to one more game exchange before the end of the day. This is the San Angelo Game Exchange. We're going to go inside and see what it looks like.
Well, kind of a weak whimper for the final store of the day, but we got Dead Island, Escape Dead Island, and then a 2-pack of Major League Baseball 2K12 and NBA 2K12. I don't ever see 2K games shipped together, so I grabbed that, plus it saves shelf space. But that's it for the day. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Go to Carper's Cove.
First game exchange of the day. We're actually in Dad's hometown, Copper's Cove. So let's go see what Dad's hometown has to offer. So Copper's Cove wasn't too bad. They had some games in there that were a little more pricey, but it's only the 6th one of the trip, so decided to save those. But we got Def Jam Rap Star for the 360, of course, beautiful Katamari, and this cool collector's edition of Tomb Raider for the 360.
Okay.
Alright, so we just finished Copper's Cove, heading to Killeen. Alright, so game exchange number 2 of the day, only 15 minutes from Copper's Cove. That's one I go to quite frequently. This is Killeen. Alright, so I only picked up one game here. It's Project Sylphie. I hemmed and hawed on another few, but they're not uncommon, so I figured I'd just get this one. Like I said, I've been to this one a number of times, so pretty much know what they got. Alright, so we finished with Killeen. Alright, third stop of the day. This is the Temple location. Another one I've been to a few times, so we'll just see what they got. So unfortunately the game they had here that I wanted wasn't there anymore. I couldn't really find anything else that was worth getting, so I spent the last of my credit and got Armored Core Verdict Day, a more pricier game on 360, so cool dad.
We have found this Echo 1 at the last game exchange we stopped at, but forgot to mention it.
And Temple is done. On our way to Waco. Fourth stop of the day, 9 total. This is Waco, Texas. I've realized that I kind of need to cut back on my budget. I've already spent $150 of my $800 budget, so we're gonna have to scrimp and save. Immediately walked into the store and said nuts to a budget and ended up spending $30 on Crash Mind Over Mule. Done with Waco, doubling back. What the hell was this?
Georgetown.
Georgetown. Alright, so for the last game stop of the day, we got the all-time classic, Hannah Montana, the movie, the game. So what a perfect way to end off the second day.
hot here. That's something about it. Day 3. We're at College Station. Let's go see what they got. College Station store didn't really have much, but they did have Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain for 360. I don't normally see it for 360, so that was a pretty cool find. But now we're heading on to Huntsville. Alright, so we didn't mark this off yesterday, but we finished with, what the heck was it, GT?
In Georgetown.
We finished Georgetown. Came to College Station. We just finished with College Station. So now we're heading over to Huntsville. We're at the Huntsville Game Exchange, one I've never been to before. It seems kind of busy. There's also a Goodwill next door, so we'll probably go in that as well. Well, I guess that wasn't serendipitous. Alright, so picked up Williams Pinball Hall of Fame. A less uncommon game for the 360. They had a bunch of games in here that I would have bought, but they weren't ready, so I guess it just wasn't meant to be.
Well, I guess we're going to Conroe next.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're gonna go from here to Conroe. Okay, this was the Conroe store. Now we're headed down to Houston. And then to Baytown.
So it turns out that Brian is a filthy liar and there isn't one in Houston. So the next one's Baytown. So we're heading to Baytown.
Well, it looks like a very bunch of cement silos.
Town called Baytown. There sure isn't a lot of water here, but they do have a game exchange, so I guess we'll go in there. So I actually found one that is quite rare for the 360. It's Autobahn Polizzi. They're not good, but it was $80. So that's kind of cool. Blew the budget though.
Okay, we got Baytown done. We're gonna stop and eat, and then we're gonna go to Nederland. Oh no, it's here. We're gonna go down to Nederland, and then we're gonna go to Beaumont after that.
Brian and Andrew used to live here. This is Nederland. So Nederland Game Exchange, I got serenaded the whole time I was in there. Dude had painted nails. I can see why Brian lived here. Got Ace Combat Assault Horizon and Assassin's Creed Rogue. Alright, so we're done with Nederland. Thank goodness. We're gonna go up to Beaumont. Last stop of the day, number 6. We're here in Beaumont. We'll be staying here in Beaumont tonight, driving to Lufkin in the morning. Alright, so last stop of the day, I bought MLB front office manager, because who doesn't want to manage a baseball team? And then they gave this to me for free. It's Man of Steel on Blu-ray. Walked here all the way from Beaumont to Lufkin. Alright, so not a huge selection of 360 or Xbox One games here, so all I got was Little League World Series 2010 Baseball. Alright, so yesterday we finished with Beaumont. We just did Lufkin. So now we're heading to Nacogdoches. Dad actually let me ride in the car this time, so I didn't have to leave too early. This is Nacogdoches. Alright, so not a big selection again, but the past 2 employees have been really nice. But I got Disney Fantasia for the 360,
and bright lights, big screen, seen it. Alright, so Nacogdoches is done. Heading over to Jacksonville now. Well, we made it all the way to Jacksonville, not Tennessee. We'll see. So, pretty big store here.
Wait a minute, start over.
Start over. So they had a pretty decent sized store. Had a good selection of games, but out of the budget, so we ended up with Apache Aerosol. Alright, so that's Jacksonville done. We're gonna head to the park, eat lunch, and then we're gonna go over to Palestine.
Okay, we made it to Palestine. This is number 2220. This is number 20. And then we're gonna go after here, we go to Corsicana.
Athens.
Athens, and then Corsicana.
Alright, so Palestine Game Exchange got another 360 rarity, the Import Tuner Challenge. She did me a deal on that one, so that was kind of her. Here we are in Athens, not Greece, but probably just as far.
Jacksonville, but we forgot to mark it now, and then we just got through with Athens, and then we're going to Corsicana. Corsicana will be our last one for today.
Corsicana, Seth lives here. Well, we didn't run into Seth in there, but I did get Namco Museum Virtual Arcade. Alright, so we finished with Corsicana. We're done for the day, so we're gonna head back to our house, and then tomorrow we're gonna drive to Tyler. It turns out there aren't 44 stores, there's only 40. So this is the 23rd store.
What store is this?
Tyler. Alright, so since I was so close to home last night, I went by and got some stuff I could trade in. Ended up getting $64 in credit. I got 21 left. We got Yaiba Ninja Gaiden Z and the collector's edition of Deadfall Adventures. Alright, so we just finished Tyler. We're gonna head to Longview, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 left.
That Dallas ain't one though, right?
Oh no, it isn't.
13
so
left.
We've got 13 left. We're in Longview! Alright, so Dad bought a 1970 SS Chevelle wagon. And then I got Jimmy Johnson's Anything with an Engine. Whoops. And Fable Anniversary. Alright, so after 25 stores, I finally found Andrew a copy of Vigilante 8, or V8, for PS1. Got Planet 51 for the 360, and Backyard Sports Sandlot Slugger for the 360. Alright, so finished with Marshall. Now we're gonna head up to Greenville. That'll be our second to last stop of the day. We're gonna finish in Texarkana. So this is the only time we've recorded in a store, but this is the biggest 360 selection I've seen. Alright, so at the last store the camera actually died, so I didn't show what I got, but we got the Serious Sam collection. So we're at the last store of the day. This is Texarkana. Okay, so again, the camera had died, so we didn't do this when we were in Greenville, but we finished Greenville, drove over to Texarkana, and we're done with Texarkana. In the morning, we'll head to Paris. You nodded! Nous sommes à Paris. Take our selfie. Alright, so we did Texarkana last night. We came to Paris this morning. Finished with Paris, and now we're gonna head to Sherman. You ready this time?
I'm ready this time.
Well, here we are in Sherman.
Let's go see what they got.
Got College Hoops 2K6.
Now we're going here.
Mm-hmm.
What is that, McKinney?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go to McKinney next, and then we're going back up to Greenville.
Gainesville.
McKinney.
Let's go inside.
Okay. What'd you get? Records? Alright, so that's McKinney done. Now we're heading back up to Gainesville.
Well, it's almost become a turd floater, so I bought Blood Bowl and Burnout Paradise.
All right, we're in Gainesville. We got that store. Now we're going to go to Wichita Falls.
That's for the final store of the day. We ended up getting Naval Assault, the Killing Tide.
Alright, so we're done with Wichita Falls. So tomorrow we're going to head down to Denton. And turns out we've only got 5 stores left because Fort Worth and Dallas are just map markers. So tomorrow will be the last day.
Got Madagascar 2 Escape from Africa and Men in Black Alien Crisis.
Ish. Wichita Falls. Came to Denton this morning. Now we're going to White Settlement. Oh, already drew the line.
Well, that's fine.
So we're in White Settlement. I've been to this one. So let's go and see if they got anything good. Alright, so I got one more heavy hitter for the 360. Armored Core 4 hands.
Used all of my credit. So we're done with White Settlement. And now we're going to head over to Grand Prairie.
4 triple pack.
Well, here we are. We're heading to the last store. We finished with Grand Prairie, going to Mesquite, and that'll be the end.
Alright, well here we are. Saved the worst for last. This is the Mesquite location. This is actually a store I boycotted, haven't shopped here in a year, but since we did all of them, I've got to come back. Alright, so I got Crash Time Autobahn Pursuit. The store itself, it's better since the last time I went in there. It's more organized. We were greeted when we went in. The employee working was actually, helpful and courteous, so it's better since a year ago. So.
And that's officially all 37 stores. All 37 Game Exchange stores in Texas. So, what we originally thought was 44 turned out to only be 37.